calling me? Who's the liar? Maybe you're in my bones, my blood. Take it all, filling me up. I'm empty, heartbeats counting down. Oh, if I could stop the clock, you'd win. So whisper the names of your enemies. There's a darker cloud than what you've left inside, growing like the winter wind. I can bear your weight, your words and selfish pride. You will not escape this sin. This is my revenge, I'll take us to the end. You can watch beneath my skin. Fear is just a smoke screen, heat is still my friend. I will use the burn to win. Whispering, falling into a sleepwalk, pacing carefully. I don't dream, closing each chapter without pain. Silent watch. There was a time I had a family, everything frozen hard. Oh my now epiphany. So whisper the names of your enemies. There's a darker cloud than what you've left inside, growing like the winter wind. I can bear your weight, your words and selfish pride. You will not escape this sin. This is my revenge, I'll take us to the end. You can watch beneath my skin. Fear is just a smoke screen, heat is still my friend. I will use the burn to win. This shell, a castle, these walls will not be scaled. You're captured, it's sick how things have turned, and all the lessons learned. Whisper the names of your enemies. Whisper the names of your enemies. I'm not your enemy. There's a darker cloud than what you've left inside, growing like the winter wind. I can bear your weight, your words and selfish pride. You will not escape this sin. This is my revenge, I'll take us to the end. You can watch beneath my skin. Fear is just a smoke screen, heat is still my friend. I will use the burn to win. If all the stars just won't shine for you, if every moon turns its back on you too, if you've been wondering how to make it all through, I will be there to light up the infinite dark. Let me be your flame, don't you be afraid. I would never ever lead you astray. Though there may come a day when my fire fades, may it carry on burning bright in every grieving heart. If the roads all greet you with freezing rains, if your so-called comrades all do the same, just and you'll feel my flames like I'm right there to warm you in the infinite cold. It's all just for the thrill of it, the thrill of watching them go down, down. But the taste of my own medicine got me thinking clearly now. It's telling me to right my wrongs. You still think everything I touch falls to pieces. You still think I refuse to hear the voice of reason. I like it that way, and I'm never gonna change.
She ain't ever switching, only one like that she been getting. She gonna live it till the clock stop ticking, filling up every minute with your cross of mercy. Some of y'all ain't worthy of this journey, but you ain't gotta worry. Gonna get you back up out of here early, out of sight.
You got no vision, lower your voice when you turn up, listen. Out here thinking your competition, but you're about to be non-existent, listen. They don't see her drive like car partitions. To the wheels fall off or round and still a renegade on a mission.
You take a step back, you think and then act, but I'm not gonna, cause it's so off-brand. Yeah, I live for watching them go down, down. I'm a super big fan, my favorite track is your SOS. That's my jam. Yeah, I live for watching you go down, down, down. I stopped asking where I find my peace when I smash your dreams into smithereens. I love when everything's in pieces. I love when I refuse to reason. You better know that I do what it takes, and I'm not gonna stop till everything's in pieces. You better know that I like it that way, and I'm never gonna change.
Respect her name, better learn her rep. Better back down, cause you're no threat. Got a little something to keep me in check. Spin them around like pirouettes. Running when they see her silhouette. Ain't turn a new leaf, but springing her step. Me they in for to see her sweat. Funny cause they ain't even seen her best. Get up and go.
She ain't no quitter, but known to deliver a heck of a show. Right up the sky, she fly, mistakes are high. She's never scared to go low. It's better you know. Before you get toe to toe, a square Brazilian fate. Stomach rumbling, appetite for destruction. Come on and get it late.
I stopped asking where I find my peace when I smash your dreams into smithereens. I love when everything's in pieces. I love when I refuse to reason. You better know that I like it that way, and I'm never gonna change.
It is what it is till it isn't. Never gonna change how I'm living.
Never gonna change.
It is what it is till it isn't. Never gonna change how I'm living. Never gonna change, never gonna change, never. Never gonna change, never gonna change, ever. Never gonna change, never gonna change, never. Never gonna change, never gonna change, ever.
way. Every pair of wings I clip is all just for the thrill of it, the thrill of watching them go down. What a thrill to chase survival, reconcile the brother's throne. Like my sons, their rule was hopeful. One undone, I left alone. Oh, no manipulation hides it. Oh, where my motivation lies. I'm a shell. Step inside. I'm a shell.
hesitation, intervene where debts are due. You can have assassination, have that cake, I'll eat it too. No manipulation hides it. Where my motivation lies. Step inside. Light implied. Pass my test, and I promise I will care for you and never let them rest. I can purge no hesitation. My situation changes. You can't have assassination. Step inside. Light implied. Pass my test, and I promise I will care for you and never let them rest. Collide their eyes. Tensions rise. One by one, and the shadow that protects you is erased by morning sun. The shadow that protects you is erased by morning sun. Sometimes I like to imagine. Face up to the sky, I can feel it now. I've been searching hard for a little while. Hear the sounds, voices from the sky. Is it in my head, telling me to fly higher up instead of the ground? I know there's trouble. I think that I can find my way beneath the rubble. Is there a flower in the gray, in the gray? 'Cause sometimes I like to imagine. 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 Is it real? I'm trying, but I feel like crying. Sometimes it just hits me. Is there something I'm missing? And I fight my fear, but it likes to steer. From now I'm following the sun till I come undone. I know there's trouble.
Solemn tone in my words and shattered bone. Am I talking to myself? Who's in control? Guarding those long gone with the haunting simple song. Rising waves of bodies save the world from all you've wronged. I can feel the fall. Leave behind your death. I will make them mine. They animate you, rot in time. Let's set devotion, scent of devotion. Oh, the dark rise in your eyes, intoxicating, intoxicating. Take responsibility. Souls adrift that long to be. Penned I write their destiny like my mother before me. Hear the whistle sound, calling those below the ground. Defending with my life the once divine, now lost in sands of time. Leave behind your dead. I will make them mine. They animate you, rot in time. Let's set devotion, scent of devotion. The dark rise in your eyes, intoxicating, intoxicating. Leave behind your dead and make it mine. While others rot in time, my lamentation is your sign.
Oceans rushing, waters deeply, breaths of mothers, daughters, grandchildren to cast adrift with ocean, sinking abyss, all clinging to sleep till fall on a safe shore.
Holding a paper while building a dam. They are flooding circuits to find who I am. Make a list, write it down in time. Sometimes we need it all, sometimes resign to a world where the center is never aligned. Make a move, take it back, it's mine. Gather raindrops and filling the ocean now.
Take every part of me, take it all and
Put it together and build it up bold.
cheers as the poetry sounds.
Tangles of those who drown, carrying myself out. Dream of dreams, stay as alive. Find keep it calm, be afraid to rattle the cage.
Take a risk, take a dive, take it down.
Suddenly surrender, take back everything. From the open shore I will learn to fly, soaring past the great divide. Voices that surface seem to call out all the lies. Is it still a sin if I let them in as they sail to calmer tide? I'll awaken what's asleep inside. Lost in ecstasy, sights and sounds are forgotten and clear. Ships boast golden rings, fantasy breaking me. From the open shore I will learn to fly, soaring past the great divide. Voices that surface seem to call out all the lies. Is it still a sin if I let them in as they sail to calmer tides? I'll awaken what's asleep inside. From the open shore I have learned to fly, soaring past the great divide. Voices that surface seem to call out all the lies. There's a hidden door on the ocean floor. Do these dreams belong to me? If it calls my name, am I awakening? There's a threshold you cross when the book starts to turn. It's a rook cheating your presence of peace. Stories rewrite, stars fleet the night, judging the cover by look. There's a dusty old line in the sand, blown to bits by my past. No longer tempting the muse. People can change, a promise I made. Fight over, fight, I refuse. Give and take, ties that you break. Why you can say you don't you get up in the aftermath? Oh, would you leave it all out on the table now before the dust settles down? 'Cause right before the sunrise, I could see the fear in your eyes. You thought I'd disappear for good now. You thought you left me dead, 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 dead. You thought that I was slowing down by now, but think again, think again. I thought that I was